Yeah, yeah, yeah. We up in this thing. We up in this thing. While you still at work. We gonna fault you green. But we up in this thing. Twerk. What's going on? What's going on? What's fucking camera? Oh, there we go. It is Blue Tuesdays on this. All right. I don't know what happened there. Your brother. Hold on a second, y'all. It looks like I am having a little issue with the camera. For some reason, I don't know why it's saying that. But the camera is correct, so it keeps going in and out. Let's see what's going on. All right. All right. Okay. I don't know what's going on with the camera. I'm sorry, guys. I have no idea what's going on. I'm having issues right now with my camera. It's just kicking me in and out for some reason. I don't know why it's doing that. Everything. I know y'all can hear me. If you can hear me, give me a thumbs up. We had some people that were in here. Let's get into it, guys. So without further delay, I'm sorry about the audio. I'm sorry, the visual difficulties. But as long as you can hear me, we're going to do it fine. I was trying to make an appearance here. Yeah, something's going on. It keeps saying that it's seeing Zoom or Skype. Make sure those apps are closed. I don't have anything else open. I don't have Zoom, not on this lap. I have a Zoom account, but I don't have it on this thing here, on this computer. So I don't know what's going on. So, hold 1 second, fam. All right, let's go ahead and get into it, ladies and gentlemen. We are live, and I'm coming at you with five. Let me lower the music a little bit. I've had we're going live. Make sure you hit that like, share, and subscribe button. As you know, we're on a little bit of a shadow ban on YouTube. I want to come live here with my people because there's a lot going on, especially my family. Shout out to you on X and Rumble. No, I have not been on in a while. I think you all know why that is. But nevertheless, I'm at it. I'm talking with y'all. We're gonna go ahead and get this thing rolling. We getting this thing rolling. First and foremost, I've been seeing these posts. We're gonna get wish. Sadly, we had an icon in our community who passed. The brother Neely Fuller, Dr. Neely Fuller Jr., who passed away. Uh, According to reports, he actually passed away on Saturday. Uh, so rest in peace to Dr. Neely Fuller. A job well done. Shout out to him. And during Black History Month. And speaking of, you know, their universe has a way of connecting things, especially during Black History Month. Uh, yeah, Dr. Fuller was a muse to Dr. Francis Cress Wilson. So shout out to him. He wrote the book on what racism. So the Independent Compensatory Code System Concept, a compensatory counter racist codified word guide, is what Neely Fuller wrote. So he was very important in our community and outlined how we deal with white supremacy and racism here in America, Black people, and how to counter that. Uh, Believe it or not, I've heard of Dr. Neely Fuller. I was put up on him, of course, by Tariq Nasheed and Wambi and others from listening to them. But passing away at the age of 95 years. That is a that is a blessed life. That is a blessed life. Of course, we don't never get over losing someone we care about or love, but uh, Dr. Fuller's work is going to live on, and it'll live on through the works of everyone, especially in the Black media, the new Black media, and our families here. So shout out to him. So I didn't watch. So I'm going to get into what we're talking about tonight. And they had, of course, the Grammys this past Sunday. It's usually the Sunday before the Super Bowl when they do the Grammys. I didn't watch it. I had other things on my mind. Yeah, Eric, I don't know what's going on with StreamYard. They say I could restart the browser. Should I restart? Could I exit out and I'll restart the browser? Maybe that might work. So I'm gonna X. What I'm gonna do is X out and I'll restart the browser. Maybe that might work and fix this because I'm dressed. So I didn't dress just to talk in the dark. I wanted you all to see me and know I'm not hiding from anything. So let me go ahead. Let me just exit out. We're gonna still keep this thing rolling. So I'm gonna keep the music on for a minute and I'm gonna be right back. Okay, hold up. All right. I think we fixed the problem. So we're back in this thing. We back. We're gonna go ahead and get started. Let's talk about, of course, what's going on in the world. Uh we were talking about the Grammys. I was talking about Dr. Neely Fuller. And this is Black History Month. And what I have done throughout Black History Month, especially for the first week of Black History Month, we've been focusing on military achievements. Military achievements, what our men did. Black people are the most patriotic people in America, and I'm confident in saying that because we have participated in every major war in this country. And yesterday, I did a story about the 24th Regiment out in Camp Logan, men who were massacred. And tonight, for our Black History Month, now, of course, a lot of people have heard of the Tuskegee Airmen and so forth, and I will definitely do a story on that. But what I would like to talk about for tonight, is the history of the Buffalo Soldiers. The Buffalo Soldiers, if you've ever heard of them, the Buffalo Soldiers were, of course, a cavalry infantry. They were created back right after the Civil War in 1866. There was an act of Congress that created a 6 all-black peacetime regiment, later consolidated into 4, the 9th and 10th Cavalry and the 24th and 25th Infantry, as they became known as the Buffalo Soldiers. Now, how they got that nickname, there's different origins on that, because one is that the Plain Indians who fought the Buffalo Soldiers thought that their dark curly hair resembled the fur of the buffalo. Another is that their bravery and ferocity in battle reminded the Indians of the way the buffalo fought. Whatever the reason, according to the National Museum of African American History and Culture, whatever the reason, the soldiers considered the name high praise, as buffalo was deeply respected by the native peoples of the Great Plains, and eventually the image of a buffalo became part of the 10th Cavalry's regiment crest. So that's how Black History Moment, we're talking about, for those that are coming in, we're looking at the Buffalo Soldiers. Now, it is more than just a Bob Marley song. They have played a role in every major war. The oldest Buffalo soldier who died in 2005 was a gentleman by the name of Mark Matthews. Then, in 2023, 101-year-old Robert Dixon was recognized as the last surviving Buffalo soldier at West Point. That was in 2023. There have been movies on the Buffalo Soldiers, including, of course, Danny Glover did a TNT movie, I remember, in the 90s. Spike Lee had a movie called Miracle at St. Anna, which chronicled the Buffalo Soldiers that served in the invasion of Italy in World War II. This is actually from the African American History Museum's website. We can look here. This is a picture of Charles Young, who was a cadet at West Point. So these are some great men that we're talking about. We're saluting the Buffalo Soldiers tonight. This is your Black History Month moment. The Buffalo Soldiers, ladies and gentlemen. And I encourage everybody to know if we don't know our history, then we don't know where we're going. That is a saying by the great Bob Marley, where you don't know where you're going. Exactly. So let's talk about what's going on in the news. Of course, you had the big thing I was talking about. What we're focusing on is the Grammys. Shout out to you, Danielle. I see you were working today. And I'm just coming on. We're going to actually go ahead and let Tariq, let's let the people know we're in. We are live right now, ladies and gentlemen. Smash up the likes. Make sure you're hitting that notification bell when we go live. So let's talk about the Grammys. Now, a couple of things happened at the Grammys. Some, of course, with history that was made. They had one of the big things that a lot of people are losing their minds for, I should say white people, is the fact that Beyonce won a Grammy for best country. She won for best country album for Cowboy Carter. And many people are upset. A lot of people were upset that she won album of the year for Cowboy Carter. And this is Beyonce's, yeah, that was her eighth studio album. And it won album of the year. Now, there a lot of since Beyonce has been performing, uh since she has been performing and going into country music, a lot of people have, white people especially, were pissed off with her doing that. Of course, you had this Country Music Awards. They snubbed her for Cowboy Carter. They didn't consider it cowboy music. They're now even criticizing her and saying that she is creating cultural appropriation by taking music from whites and country music. Now, let me just say this, since it is Black History Month as well, I have to ask those who do not know music or who think they know music, where do you think country music came from? Just like rock and roll music, where do you think that came from? Where do you think country music came from? It didn't come, I can tell you straight out, it didn't come from Johnny Cash. It didn't come from Garth Brooks or Brooks and Dunn. Great musicians, by the way, George Strait. Former black slaves created country music. The banjo, the guitar, the guitar in particular, that comes from an ancient African instrument off the West Coast that they play with the strings. But blacks in country music, black people did create country music and had a role in it. They had a significant role in the development with creating the banjo and other instruments. Now, of course, one of the major country music artists, I've talked about him before and saluted him for Black Music Month, was Charlie Pride. There are, of course, a couple others. How many of you all know Ray Charles actually had a country album? His country album uh, that he created, Ray Charles' country album, I believe is called Modern Sounds in Country and Western Music. That is his highest selling album of all time. I don't know if anybody knows that. The Genius, as what they called Ray Charles. That's it. Modern Sounds in Country and Western Music is his highest grossing album. That's one of his most, that was it. It broke a lot of barriers. And so, yeah, it sounds like I can't stop loving you, born to lose, you don't know me, careless love. Yeah, that was Ray Charles. So now Beyonce is into the fold, and I'll admit Beyonce is not a traditional country music artist. Yeah, Spirit is not a fan of hers. Uh, a lot of people are not fans. There are a lot of people who are not fans of Beyonce. I'm not a big fan of hers. Now, I will say this, and I don't, without upsetting the Beehive. Of course, I've always had a thing for me, myself, and I think that's nice. No, I thought that was catchy. I think her song Texas Hold'em. I like that. I honestly like it. I think it's a good song. I think it's a good country. This ain't Texas. Huh! We don't hold 'em. Huh! So lay your cars down, 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 down. So pop your Lexus. Huh! I think it's catchy. I thought it was catchy. And Beyonce, she has, I think, the most Grammys of any artist. I'm not really a hater of hers. Now, I compare, I think Beyonce is one of the greatest artists of all time. Not so much. Do I hate her or hate her music? Not really. I'm not just into it. That's how I kind of am. I'm not a hater of hers, but I'm not enthused like a Michael Jackson or a Prince or a Stevie Wonder or Luther Vandross. I like stuff like that. That's just me. No offense to her. And yes, do I think the Grammys, is it more a like contest? I guess a popularity contest. Who's buddied up with these award shows? Do they give out awards just for people? Yeah, I believe that too. And it's not just the Grammys, the Oscars does it too. I mean, I'm still baffled at how Jamie Lee Curtis got an Oscar for Everything Everywhere all at once. That movie, I I didn't understand. It's sci-fi. I didn't understand that. But that was the Grammys after COVID. They were trying to push the DEI stuff, diversity, equity, inclusion. Yeah. Well, you got that point. I didn't really like some of the Destiny's Child songs. It was for independent women, that stuck up crew. I had a friend of mine who knew Beyonce and Kelly Rowland back in the day when they were growing up in Houston, a family friend. He's passed on, but yeah, he had some interesting stuff to say about Kelly Rowland because she lived across the street from his house where he grew up at, and he let's just say she wasn't. You saw her on the Today Show when she copped that attitude when they kept asking about Beyonce. Well, he apparently was just asking. She was like that when he asked her about her day. She's like, "Who are you?" I wasn't there, but that's what he told me. She was uppity, and this was, I think, at the time when they were just starting to take off. They weren't where they were. Destiny's Child wasn't with the one woman team, as you know. It wasn't like that. Beyonce was still getting her name known, but anyway. So yeah, they're upset about that. Yeah, but blacks created this stuff, and so yeah, we had a fool. Somebody wrote this. Cam Henry wrote, Beyonce has spent the last decade complaining about cultural appropriation, only to cash in on, who the hell is this? I don't know. On culturally appropriating white culture. That's from the New York Post. So this guy said, show me one country artist who filled a stadium with blacks. Just one. Claiming that country music is black culture because a few blacks played the blues 100 years ago is absurd. And Tariq wrote, you claim the creator of country music was Jimmy Rogers, but I have already proven that he even said he got it from black people. So are you just reducing yourself to trolling at this point? Yeah, all cowboy music, all country music basically is the blues. It's a cousin to the blues, essentially. If you listen to the song and say they're always depressing. It's a bad love story. The man's dying because his wife has left the man, she's waiting to come back. Something like that. But he knows that she won't come back until he gets that tag. Something like that. You know, that's country music. But yeah, Beyonce. Yeah, they also try to say Elvis invented rock and roll. Look at Jesse Ventura.
Music if it weren't for the black people. Virtually, I think all of our music, whether it's country, western, bluegrass, the blues, rock and roll, you name it, it all started and came from black America.
And he's right.
So when you listen to the music of your choice, remember, chances are you wouldn't hear that music if it weren't for black people long ago.
He's right. He's 1,000% right on that. And black people created every genre of music and still impacting. And someone who pioneered that. And speaking of pioneer, let's talk about what happened. I'm sure some of you may have seen this. What happened with Babyface, Kenneth Babyface Edmonds, a 13-time Grammy winner, a member of the Songwriters Hall of Fame. I believe also Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Correct me if I'm wrong, anybody. But a producer, television, a man who wrote songs for other artists that were hits, The Whispers. He wrote Rock Steady, and he wrote Shoot, that entire Waiting to Exhale soundtrack. He produced TLC, Digging the Sea, Digging the Scene, Chasing Waterfalls. Also for Boys to Men, End of the Road, a number of hits that he wrote. Now, of course, he had co-writers also working with him, but Babyface could write a song by himself. He is one of the greatest producers to ever live. 26 number one R&B hits. So, yes, Sunday was the Grammys. And by the way, I've done videos on the Grammys before. I'm not really a follower of the Grammys. I think they're satanic. And that was from a few years ago when they had Nicki Minaj doing some devil crap. Devil mocking the Vatican, mocking she was mocking the Catholic Church and Catholicism and Christianity in general. But I always thought they do a lot of demonic, stupid stuff at their shows, that they're falling out, and the talent is just not the same. I've always said that about these award shows, so I'm not going to repeat that. But I know who Babyface is, and of course, he's in the music industry, a top producer. He's going to go to the awards because that's his people, that's his community. And so, brother Babyface was walking the red carpet and was interviewed by these two Gen Zers. I'm gonna call them Gen Zers. Their names. Actually, one person's name. Hold on, I had it right here. Left off. Why is it doing that? Sorry, that's the video. So the Associated Press, I'm trying to get their names here. What you had, these three, there were two news reporters, eventually three. Okay, so her name is Leslie Ramirez. There was Gary Gerard Hamilton, and Krista is cut off right here. But I'm going to play the video. So Babyface gets called to do an interview, and this is what happens. Now watch, and you probably have seen this video go viral, but watch what happens. Babyface is in the middle of an interview. They ask him some bullshit questions like, "Hey, who do you think is going to win the R&B year? Who's going to win R&B Artist of the Year? Best R&B song," or something like that. I don't even know. I wasn't paying attention. I don't care. But they ask him for his opinion. He stops, takes his time to speak to them, and this is what happened.
Talk about just this new trend that we're seeing in R&B, where we're seeing more of a fusion. We're seeing people blend the genre with pop, blend the genre with hip hop and rock as well.
Yes, I think it's interesting.
Chapel.
You guys want to do that? Go do that.
So sorry, baby. I'm so sorry.
This woman. Let's go back and look at that. Hold on. Now, what the hell is Chapel Roan? I'm trying to be respectful. What is Chapel Roan? Just like that. What is that? She had an explosion at a curtain factory. This Chapel Roan, I've never heard of. Has anybody ever heard? I've did a little digging. She's a singer-songwriter, but she dresses as a drag queen. Oh, I see why she got invited. I see why she got invited. These are Gen Zers, yeah. And a lot of people can't put that up. So she stopped. They cut the interview. Babyface just walked off. Y'all want to talk to her? Go ahead. We're gonna end this now. And he did it politely. I probably would have had it better. I would have dropped the damn mic. I'd have coughed on it and handed it back to him. He was polite.
How are you?
Oh my gosh.
You look amazing.
Oh my God, thank you. But first I wanted to say that I'm really sorry.
These are okay. So now I can see all their names. So I let the video go. And so this is Leslie. You got Leslie Ambrose. I believe Leslie is the one in the middle. You have Krista, the one who rudely yelled Chapel. And then you have Gary Gerard Hamilton, the brother. He wasn't there, but he's looking at her. Yeah, you wrong for that shit. Now, you could see the woman that's next to her, Leslie, is upset with her. She had to apologize. She apologized to Babyface. And yeah, Chapel Roan. I've never heard of her. I see she's a singer-songwriter. They say she has an impact. How many albums has she sold? She's a singer-songwriter. I'm not trying to diss her. I've never listened to any of her work, and I'm sure she's talented. But I've never heard of her. I'm sorry. But apparently, yes, she is, and she won a Grammy. She did win a Grammy. Okay, so she reads several songs from her debut album in 2023, excuse me. The Rise and Fall of a Midwest Princess was her debut album through Island Records, but she's known for her camp and drag queen influenced aesthetic. Now, originally, she was first signed to Atlantic Records and released her debut EP, School Nights. After being dropped from the label, she released a series of independent singles, including Pink Pony Club, that rose to prominence. I've never listened to it. Now, she's a songwriter. Her uncle is Darren Chapel. Now, here's interesting, who is a representative out in, so she's from Missouri. So he's a representative, a Republican out in Missouri. And from reading her biography just a little bit, it sounds like she was brought up in a very conservative Christian household. But now she identifies as part of the rainbow community. Now, the Grammys, speaking of, since you didn't watch it, they claim that the Grammys had ratings went up. The Grammys supposedly had a rating of 16.9. But I'm going to go ahead. Let's finish playing the apology video. So we're going to talk about that in a minute.
About interrupting Babyface earlier. Chapel Roan had come up, and there was a lot of commotion as there is on these carpets. But I'm a big Babyface fan, and as are we all, and so I just wanted to say that that I really apologize.
As I was going to say, on these carpets, wild things sometimes happen that are out of our control. We've got, directors in our ears telling us to talk about just this new trend that we're seeing in R&B, where we're seeing more of a fusion. We're seeing people blend the genre with pop, blend the genre with hip hop and rock as well.
Yes, sir.
The Chapel Roan is right there. So 7 seconds has passed. Now there's an earlier when Babyface comes up, you don't see it in this video, but there's a part where Krista actually turns her body. Her producer or someone was behind her, was tapping her in the back, and she turns her body to the other reporter, Leslie, like trying to get her to wrap it up. I'm going to try and see if I can find that other video, a longer video of it. So wait, here it is. Hold on. Let me stop sharing this one. I'm going to get back to finish playing that. But look at this video. Hold up. Now look at this. Watch. Okay, so this is a little bit longer and a better one. But watch what happens.
Yes, I
watch
think
her body language.
It's interesting.
See that? What?
Yes, I think
He taps her.
it's interesting.
Chapel.
You guys want to do that? Go do that.
So sorry, baby. I'm so sorry. Hello. How's it going, Chapel? Hello.
Thank you. But first I wanted to say that I'm really sorry about interrupting Babyface earlier. Chapel Roan had come up, and there was a lot of commotion as there is on these carpets. But I'm a big Babyface fan, and as are we all, and so I just wanted
Y'all
to
think she know who Babyface was? Y'all really think she know who Babyface was? Oh, that's that old dude that's producing those albums for Tori Kelly. That's who that is. That old black guy. Yeah. Who's got some talent. That's y'all really think they treat our artists so bad? Y'all think she grew up in a house with Babyface coming on the radio? You think she got Babyface? You think she got Babyface LPs?
say that that I really apologize.
Yes,
she wasn't paying any attention to the man. Yeah, that was so disrespectful to Babyface, and they lit her up for it.
I think
yeah,
it's interesting.
Her producer, within 7 or 8 seconds, was tapping her on the arm to get to Chapel Roan. So she's not all at fault for this. This is not all on her. I can't just fault her. This was the Associated Press in general, because
talk about just this new trend that we're seeing in R&B, where we're seeing more of a fusion. We're seeing people blend the genre with pop, blend the genre with hip hop and rock as well.
Someone from the back
I think it's interesting.
Chapel.
To get her attention.
You guys want to do that? Go do that.
So sorry, baby. I'm so sorry. And R&B progressing. We talked to him last year about it, and he had beautiful responses to it. Looking forward to interviewing him in the future. He is also, again, one of my favorites. Created.
I've been like, nah, we done. Y'all go ahead and interview Teddy Riley. I'm not doing. I wiped his ass from on a Versus set. Go interview Teddy.
Did a lot of great music for some of my favorite artists as well. A true legend. It's unfortunate that I was involved, a part of that. I should have done more to stop it, but it is. I'm very happy that he stopped to talk to us.
So yeah, that was so mad. And a lot of people have clapped back at the people, famous people. They were talking about it from Whoopi Goldberg to Sherry Shepherd. Everybody has been calling them out on X for how they did her. I I certainly think she shouldn't be, honestly, for something like that. This is me. Now I know about making mistakes. I don't want to be the person that acts like I've never done anything wrong. Do I think she should never work again? I would tell you what, I think it would be a long time before she should ever work on a red carpet. I don't think she needs to be back next year. I certainly don't think she should be back next year. But I want y'all to listen to something the brother Sean Stockman from Boys to Men said. He said something
Hey y'all,
really
what's going
interesting.
on?
Shout out
So
to
I
him.
was watching the Grammys and I happened to see something that really, really bothered me. A friend of mine was on the red carpet and he was being interviewed by a couple of young ladies. And during his interview, they saw someone that was, I guess, currently hot right now. And they called over to that person,
Fair use. Fair use.
basically interrupting my friend, who, by the way, is a legend in the music business, not just black music, but in music in general. His interview was abruptly cut off because they were trying to get the attention of this particular artist. And my friend, being obviously and rightfully so upset, just handed the mic off and walked away. I was talking to my manager, Joe, on the phone about this, and he raised a question. It's like, or rather, he made a statement. Like, that would never happen in the NFL, like, or the NBA. You would never disrespect Magic Johnson. You would never disrespect You would never disrespect any football legend, Deion Sanders or whoever, because there's a level of understanding of what those particular human beings brought to that respective profession. But it seems to be the opposite in the music industry. The industry tends to have a really bad habit of doing.
Now, y'all pay close attention to what the brother is saying. So he said the interviewers saw someone, quote, that was hot and disregarded a person who is a legend in the business. So in other words, it would be the equivalent of interviewing Muhammad Ali, the late Muhammad Ali, on a red carpet, but you ignore him to holler at Bud Crawford or Canelo Alvarez. Now, that's not taken away from Bud or Canelo as talents. It's not why I'm doing that to demean them like they aren't superstars in their respective sport. But the point I'm making is that you have a legend in front of you and he's stopping to give you his time. You talk to them as a professional, and probably what could have done, what would have been better. I'm going to finish the Stockman video, but I think there was certainly a better way they could have handled it. She could have said, "Excuse me, Babyface, do you know who Chapel Roan is?" and brought her over and say, "Babyface, I want you to meet this young lady. You know who this young lady is?" And said, "Yeah, Chapel Roan." And that could have been, who knows, something that would have made the fans tune in even more excited, because then she could have said, "Well, can we get a collab from you two?" I would have done that, brought those two over. But you never cut off or disrespect your interviewee the way that they did. But let's finish what Mr. Stockman has to say.
Very disrespectful things to people that should be honored. No matter what you know or not know of them, there are certain people that in the industry should be well versed on who is who and who they should tip their hat to. So it bothers me that in any other profession of entertainment, whether it be acting, whether it be sports, the legends are honored. But with the music industry, if you're not considered relevant, you get thrown away and discarded, no longer useful. And that's weird to me. And I wanted to ask all of you guys, like, why do you think that is? Why is that? Why is the music business and the artists that contributed to the music business so disposable? Yet any other genre of entertainment or sports or whatever you want to call it is revered. Let me go on record and say that what those two people did to that legend was really fucked up. And it just kind of gives an example of a great example.
Right. So what the brother Sean essentially was saying is that it gives us a great example of how the music industry disregards legends like they're nothing. And you see that in the music business. You see that especially, I see it with the songs that are played now. What's happening to the artists we listened to in the 90s and even in the early 2000s who you think they're not making music, but they are. Why we don't hear more from them? That was a question I remember Michael Bivens brought up. I think it was on an interview with the Breakfast Club a few years ago, talking about where the hits from why ain't New Edition making any hits. Who said we will stop making music? We always make music. They're always making music. Is it that they stop making music or they're not getting the exposure from the record labels? They're pushing certain artists, especially artists that I will say promote and push a certain agenda. And you can see that clearly when you look at the likes of a Sexy Red, or I look at the likes of a Cardi B and what they represent. A Lil Nas, and not just the ladies, the Lil Nas X's, and of course even Chapel Roan. But I digress. So the Grammys too. They said that the ratings for the Grammys were higher as they've ever been. They always say that. They say it always increases. It always increases. Now, what was the actual Nielsen ratings? Because they said now the AP said that the audience actually dropped. Now, I read somewhere last night that the ratings they had saw it was like 16.9 million last year. They said it was high this year, but now, according to the reports that I've seen, the ratings slipped to just 15.4 million viewers. Now, you got to factor in this too. How many of those are there when they look at the ratings for the Grammys? Are these live that they're looking at? Of course, everybody's not on cable anymore. People are watching on television. They're watching through their computers. What are they watching? Replays of it? They have to factor all of that in. I heard they had a Quincy Jones tribute, by the way, that said that was garbage. I don't know for sure. Hold on, family. Somebody's calling me. Hold up. I'll be right back. Give me 1 second. I'm sorry. We'll be right back. I am back. Sorry, guys, I had to step away. So the Grammy Awards dropped from 15.4 million viewers. That's the rating cycle. So it dropped, which is down from 9% from last year. So they say the telecast, according to CBS, racked up 102.2 million interactions online. Still, marketing efforts for this year's show were scaled back due to the wildfires in Los Angeles. As the ceremony focused on fundraising efforts and the resilience, the Grammy raised nearly $9 million to aid wildfire relief in California, and on Sunday night, an additional $15 million over the weekend. Yeah. They say the ceremony was one of the best reviewed in years, with Variety's Chris Willman in his review of the telecast. The show featured a healthy dose of snubs and surprises. Taylor Swift and Billie Eilish were shut out. Beyonce finally won Album of the Year, and Kendrick Lamar took home. Yeah, that was a highlight. He took home the song and record of the year for the larger than life Drake Does Not Like Us. Yeah, so that was interesting. There was a Quincy Jones tribute where, and people have talked about this. I haven't seen it yet, but Herbie Hancock, Stevie Wonder, Cynthia Arvivo, Lady Wilson, and Janelle Monáe. Janelle Monáe was just like Michael Jackson, but accordingly, I've seen, especially from Nicole of Nicole's View and others, people that were complaining about it because I think they didn't even mention Michael at the Grammys. With regards to Quincy, because, you know, Quincy Jones is probably his greatest accomplishment was producing those 3 albums for Michael Jackson. I mean, my goodness, you had Off the Wall, Thriller, and Bad back to back. Thriller, of course, is the best-selling album of all time. It was over 50 years ago. And Quincy, you know, he will always be one of the things, he's one of the music's pioneers. He has no peer to me as a producer. People say stuff about him, backdoor stuff. I don't know. You can only go off what you do, but I don't know that for a fact. And his impact can't be denied. You know, you can't deny what he accomplished and what he did in music and in television. I mean, the hip hop artists that he produced, but yeah, I know they got stories on Quincy. So the Grammys, yeah, I've never been into it. Now, I haven't seen the Janelle Monáe concert tribute. I heard from different people it was hell. I don't think anybody watched it. I gotta watch it and take a look at it. Of course, I don't want to play anything. If I play it on here, you know what will happen, guys. You get dinged by ScrewTube for playing copyrighted stuff. The Grammys, I'm sure, is no different than the NFL or the NBA or the Olympics with their content. But later tonight, I'm gonna just take a look at it. Now, before I get off, I gotta talk about this rapper out in Detroit. This rapper, her name is Dirk. She's out of Detroit, who's suing Lyft. And her name is Dank DeMoss. She's on the Lizzo side. Well, Lizzo lost weight, so I can't say she's on the Lizzo side of the game. She was on Lizzo's, where Lizzo used to be, her side. Dank DeMoss is a rapper who is suing Lyft. She is suing Lyft because they couldn't lift her. I don't think anybody can lift her. Not Toyota, not Corolla, not Camry, not the Crown. She pulled up, so a few weeks ago, at a Detroit Lions playoff party she was trying to go to. She ordered a Lyft, and this car pulls up, and this driver This driver got scared. He just saw it and said he couldn't do it. His shocks got shocked when she his shocks got shocked when this happened. Hold on.
Rapper denied a lift from Lyft. She says it's due to her size. Jessica Dupnack from our Fox sister station.
I can't say too much. I'm going through stuff already. They're gonna say, "Oh, this is bullying." This even the news reporters laughing on the left. Let's just finish the video. Fair use. Let's get through this.
Explains.
Have you been in cars that size? Yes, I have. I've been in cars smarter than that, you know.
Deja Blanding tells us she was just trying to get to a Detroit Lions watch party this month when her Lyft rolled up.
As I'm walking, I see him like making faces or whatever. I'm like, oh man.
She already knew.
I can fit in his car.
Believe me,
yes, I can.
Believe me.
He told her there's not enough room in his car.
The kicker part was when he started to talk about his tires. You know, I feel like that was a slap in the face. That was like my tires, you know, like.
The driver said his tires could not handle her weight.
For every big person you turn down because they can't fit in your car.
He's worried about the tires. His suspension system, I could just hear this. Can y'all hear the suspension system in the video rattling? That car is holding on for dear life already. It ain't going to make it up but 2 blocks. If that, I don't think it would get an inch. That's the whole system gone.
Yeah, because they need to order.
No, I don't never have to order Uber XL.
He apologized, canceled the ride, and left her there. The rapper says she's pretty tough. Dank DeMoss, as she's known at the mic, is crushed by the whole situation.
I just want them to know, like, it really hurt my feelings.
It looks like a Lyft might be hurting pretty soon, too.
I knew it was illegal and I knew that it was wrong.
Her return.
Now watch this asshole. Now I'm a lawyer myself. Now I'm familiar up with Michigan. They have weight discrimination laws, but y'all think I'm an ambulance chaser. This is a prototype ambulance chaser. I want y'all to pay very close attention to what he says. I'm not even going to slow it down. They can ding me for the copyright. Listen very carefully to what he says.
Attorneys John Marco and Zach Runyon say weight is a protected characteristic in Michigan by law.
It would be no different than a driver pulling up and saying, you know, I don't want to have black people in my car, or I don't want to have Christians in my car, or Muslims in my car. It's the same. Under the law, it's the same.
The lawsuit is filed. Since she posted the encounter on social media, other full-figured folks have reached out saying the same thing happened to them. Is filed.
Muslims in my car, saying, driver pulling up and saying, you know, I don't want to have black people in my car.
That's not in the same category of fruit, which the woman needs desperately. Probably not high in sugar. I'm sorry, I said I wasn't going to do it. But damn it, everybody else has been doing it. Come on. This is what you waste your time on now. I'm aware of the weight discrimination law in Detroit in Michigan, from what I'm researched. That only applies if I'm reading it correctly. And I think that why this is not going to survive that applies in employment situations. You can't discriminate against somebody if you're hiring them, not if you're giving them a ride. Lyft is a company that gives ride share. It's a ride share company. That's its purpose. She's not applying for a job. She tried to get into a car. She would have to take up the entire back. She'd take up the entire back seat. Judging by how that back seat, they'd probably have to push the passenger seat up by about 3 feet. This reminds me of Al Bundy when he would be carpooling with all the fat women. Al Bundy would roast a fat woman in a heartbeat. This is
see hair growth.
Oh, sorry about that. So I'm listening to this. This was hell. Just listening to this reporter. This reporter is interviewing this lawyer, and he's serious. She's bigger than Big Pun. That's no joke. Big Pun died young. I seen her. I see who's the other one? Dave Bunce, the one that was going at it with Snoop Dogg, and the brother. And I'm trying to be. I'm not trying to make fun, but the guy was on the stage on a couch with an oxygen tank. Dave Bunce. The dude has to weigh about 400 pounds or more. As a young man, that's not healthy. Even me, and I'm a young man, and I'm a little overweight myself. I used to be bigger. I've lost weight, actually. I lost 40 pounds. Just watching what I eat and working out. Walking helps. She can't walk. She's waddling. I'm trying not to be rude. I'm really, but literally, it's hard for yeah. I'm not. This is not body shaming, but it's what it is. She's a big woman. She's literally, when you saw her earlier in the video, she's waddling down the hall. There was barely enough room for her and the other woman that was walking next to her. That's how much space she took. I look at a lot of big people. A lot of them aren't around today that were famous. Yokozuna, the wrestler. John Candy, the comedian. A lot of people who were big guys, big stars who were known for their weight. Yeah, they dropping dead of heart attacks, high cholesterol, diabetes. I'm not trying to fat shame the sister or anything like that. That's not what I'm doing. But if she didn't file this lawsuit, probably wouldn't be even saying anything about it. I didn't know who she was. I seen a video of her, and she even took up the entire trunk of a Suburban, of a truck. So there was no way, if you had a four-wheeler truck, you could tell me she could have fit in that little car that pulled up. I can't believe that. Chris Farley, yeah, John Belushi, but he had drugs. Those guys, John Belushi and Chris Farley, they were dealing with drugs too. That was drugs too. The drugs played a factor. They were a huge factor.
I don't want to have Christians in my car or Muslims in my car. It's the same. Under the law, it's the same.
The lawsuit is filed. Since she posted the encounter on social media, other full-figured folks have reached out saying the same thing happened to them.
I believe the lawsuit. What's the dollar amount for the Dank DeMoss lawsuit? Someone said it's a $10 million lawsuit. So that's $1 a pound. That's $1 a pound, Peg. That's, oh my God.
Believe me, you can.
Yes, I can. I really want people to see like what we go through as bigger people, you know.
She looked like she left. She looked like the Thanksgiving turkey that got pardoned. In that picture. Damn. I can't help it. I'm trying not to. And you know what? She seems like a sweet young lady. She seems like she's a sweetheart in real life. I don't doubt she is. I don't doubt she is. Don't judge a semi truck by its cover. Just the old saying. I think she's a sweetheart in real life. I mean, I wish her the best. But as a lawyer looking at this lawsuit, this is probably one of the most frivolous things I've ever seen. Yeah, he's trying to get a check, but I take offense. I got to say this when they compare being black to being fat. You got a choice to lose weight or stay morbidly obese. That's just reality. You got a choice to diet and exercise. I don't have a choice to be black. That's who I am. That's who I'm proud. That's what I love to be. That's what I like to be. And it's a shame when I'm looking at these as a lawyer, as I'm looking at this stuff. And, you know, who knows? He might be able to win a case. He's probably trying to, what they usually are trying to do, because he's not suing the driver. The driver's included as an employee of Lyft. And I think that driver was fired. But he's suing Lyft because Lyft obviously has the insurance in which they can pay for this lawsuit. So the goal is to sue Lyft and get a settlement out of it. I don't know how far it's going to go, but that's their goal, is to just try and get a settlement from this case. Who knows what's going to happen? I think it's all bull. Just my personal humble opinion. But that, I mean, and y'all should just look at people. I mean, I've heard Eddie Griffin's take. I don't know. I don't think Corey Holcomb do his take on 5150? When I found out about this, I don't think they did. Oh God. And that's tonight. Corey Holcomb's going live tonight on the 5150 show. I'm sure this is going to come up. This, I've seen she posted some naked pics. She could take. I think she could fit the car in spaces. Yeah, in certain sections. Damn. All right, I'm gonna stop. I mean, look, I wish her the best. I think that, you know, and look, all of this is, and honestly, this is what I think personally. I think she set this up so she could get exposure for her music, her career, because now everybody's talking about it. The Breakfast Club is talking about it. NBC News talked about it. National News. It's made national news. It's been on Instagram with the reels, different bloggers. Even me, I'm talking about it. I'm giving her a little exposure. But I use that term lightly. But yeah, this is her. And just this picture alone, I don't think Better Call Saul. I trust Better Call Saul. I trust Saul Goodman before I trust him. That face alone, he's waiting for somebody to fall behind a banana peel. Yeah, right there. Look there. We're going to get some money. They're going to get exposure from this. Yeah. So that's exposure. You know, and the biggest thing that's going to give this away too. So that's her getting out. That's her getting out of, is that a type of car is that? That's not a Suburban. Is that an Escalade? Now, I'm going to tell you something, too, that's going to do her away. She was getting a ride from Lyft, right, to go to her cousin's. Why didn't they pick her up? Y'all think they wanted her? You think that car could have fit her? Y'all think the car could, their cars, they were going to get their cars out there to get, oh my God. She was rapping in the back. One video I saw, she was actually rapping in the back of a truck. And in one of the videos that I saw, and she took up the space in that. There's no way she would have fit in that car. No, somebody's got. No, this is not right. Oh, oh my God, no. Nobody did that. No, they didn't do that.
First time we had to use one of these without an accident.
No, that's wrong. No, no. I didn't make that video. That was I don't want nothing to happen to that girl fatally or anything like that. I want her to be. I don't want nothing to happen to her or nothing like that. That's enough. That's from my end. I'm gonna be monitoring this lawsuit. I don't think it's gonna fly anywhere, but they've had so many people I've thought that have filed some frivolous lawsuits that I thought weren't gonna make it, and it actually like I've seen Janice Dickinson when she sued Bill Cosby, that her case even went up to the Court of Appeal and she got a settlement. So, and I thought she was lying. I believe she was lying throughout that whole thing, but because she sued Cosby's lawyer for defamation. So, I don't know. This nation, this time, what we see in all of these stories, and I'm talking about too, the Gen Z generation, it is screwed if we're on the path that we are. What we're seeing today by how they're reacting, it's bad. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna wrap this thing up. How you doing, one who cares? And we're gonna see y'all in the next one. If I do another one, we'll see. I just want to come on and talk with y'all, but I'm gonna roll up. It's Mardi Gras season in New Orleans, man. It's getting hot too because they got the Super Bowl this week. Trump is supposed to be coming down, so security in the city is very tight. I think they even put out like I want to say a radius from the North Shore, so out in Mandeville, Slidell, Covington, to La Place, to South in like St. Bernard and Walden. There's a no-fly zone for drones, like personal, private drones and so forth, unless you got some type of license. Yeah, you can't fly drones within an area. They're monitoring the airspace. Yeah, Trump is supposed to be in town for the Super Bowl. So it's getting interesting, guys. But anyway, I'm going to wrap this thing up. You guys be safe and be blessed. Love y'all. And I'll see y'all in the next one. By the way, I got to put this out for my family that are in the New Orleans area. We got us another show, another hot one coming out this Saturday. Come on out. The day after yours truly's birthday, February 8th. We are doing the Laughing My Ass Off comedy show. It's featuring the likes of Brandon Haynes. We got Reels. And we got Big C, comedian out of Baton Rouge, and it's headlined by none other than Nonsense. It's gonna be a hell of a event, ladies and gentlemen. You don't want to miss it. And I'm actually going to put the link in the chat, as well as just show you a clip of what we have here, or actually, So this is the link to the show. So that's it here. Yeah, that's the link. I'm gonna share the screen with y'all, so y'all go get your tickets. I know some of you all, if you're in the New Orleans area for the weekend for the Super Bowl, this is the comedy show you don't want to miss. It's gonna be a great one, fam. So I will see you all in the next one. Be safe and be blessed. We're gonna go ahead and wrap this thing up. I'll holla. Peace. Whoever you are, wherever you are, hope you are blessed and doing safe. Ladies and gentlemen, greetings, family. Of course, I'm tuning in. You see me without the glasses off today. But if you're looking for some opportunities, particular advertisement opportunities, then look no further at the link at the bottom to my email address. You can hit me up for advertisement opportunities. We are supporting and promoting your businesses here on this channel. You can also, if you would like to donate and subscribe to our Patreon, a link is at the bottom as well. So you have multiple ways in which you can advertise with the platform by emailing me when we go on through our live stream. You also have access to premium content, those that want to see premium content that you will not find here on YouTube or Facebook or Twitter, as I am suspended probably by now. You guys can check out the Patreon at link at the bottom. But advertisement opportunities, definitely email me, gavin.grich1@gmail.com for rates. And for the Patreon, it is the same as the YouTube channel. It is channel gboot2786. All right, I'll holla. Peace.